We didn't have bottled water. We used water fountains, and we only got to drink at certain times of the day when we were at school. At home, we played outside until we couldn't stand our thirst anymore, ran inside the house, opened up the tap on the sink, filled that glass up, guzzled it down, put the glass down, and ran back outside. These are some of my childhood memories from the late 60s, 70s, and maybe 80-ish. So join me. We used to ride in a Volkswagen bus, I guess they called it, and it had 2 seats in the front, and then the back part was like the corrugated, like the back of a pickup truck. And we had lawn chairs that we rode in. You had to line the chairs up with the direction of the lines in the back. But when Dad would go around a corner, the chairs would fold up and we'd fall out on the ground. Well, in the back of the van. When I was really young, we had a wringer washing machine. And I'm sure most of you know what that is, but ours sat out in the carport and you loaded it, turned it on, it agitated, it, rinsed the clothes. I don't remember the changing of the water, but I remember when it was finished, you had to turn the wringer on and it had these 2 rollers and you put each individual piece of clothing through that wringer and then you hung them on the line to dry. And at that time, I was 5, my sister was 3, I had twins that were 1, and a newborn sister that was about a month old. So we had 3 in diapers, and that's about the time cloth diapers came out, but we had to use regular cloth diapers, wash them in the wringer washing machine, and hang them to dry. If I got in trouble in school, I was in trouble not only at school, but I was in trouble when I got home. And it doesn't seem like the kids really get in trouble anymore. Trophies were for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. You had to actually be good to get a trophy. The playgrounds were really fun. They were very high and they were dangerous. There was a lot of injuries. But those of us that didn't get injured, we sure had a lot more fun than these half-size playgrounds they have now. Soda and treats were for special occasions. It wasn't just sitting in our pantry to have full-time access to. We sat down and we ate meals. If we were hungry between meals, we were told to wait. No snacks. I remember the threat of, you wait until your dad gets home. Oh my goodness. It was awful. It was awful. Probably wasn't that bad once he got home, but just the not knowing. I worked for an allowance when I was in 3rd and 4th grade, and I came home every day after school and I vacuumed the carpet and did any dishes that were still in the sink that needed to be done. We didn't have a dishwasher, but I mean, that was okay. We'd never had a dishwasher, so it wasn't like a punishment. My mom wanted us to keep our things picked up out of the living room. We were supposed to keep them put away in our room. And so doing my chores, I made $1.25 a week. And if I left anything out in the living room, she would grab it up. And if I didn't buy it back that week, she would throw it out. And I remember buying my hairbrush back for $0.25 because I left it out. And what about the outdoor games? There was marbles and jacks. And I think we did this inside and outside, but where you take the 2 cans or the 2 cups and you put the string between for your telephone. It never worked, but we kept doing it over and over again. There was red light, green light. What time is it, old witch? Speaking of being outside, how many of you knew what time you had to be inside the house at night? And I'm not talking about driving kids. I'm talking about kids that are out playing in the neighborhood. One house had a whistle. One house, the dad, did this really loud whistle. Others, it was the street lights coming on. But everybody knew you'd better get your butt back in that house when your time was up to play outside. And what about TV? TV, there was one in the living room. And I remember when we went from black and white to color, in living color. And the only show that I remember coming inside the house from playing outside to watch was The Brady Bunch. Movies came on at a specific time in the evening. There was popcorn popped and tap water to drink, and the whole family gathered to watch the same show together. And I don't remember worrying about, oh, is this kid friendly or not? I do remember not being able to watch Love American Style. And that came on, pretty late at night anyway, so we should have already been in bed, but I know I was not allowed to watch that. I'm sure I forgot a whole bunch of stuff. If you can think of something that you experienced in your childhood, stuff you liked, stuff you didn't like, leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later. Bye.